The great sage known as the Shla, Rav Yeshayahu Horowitz, teaches, Kol ma shekoneh benafsho b'yalduto nish'ar ken b'teva kayam lekol yamav. Whatever a person acquired in his childhood remains in their nature the rest of their lives. And that is why we bless our children to be like Menashe and Ephraim, not only because they didn't fight, but because of why they didn't fight. They didn't fight because of their deep and profound faith and trust in Hashem, a faith that they were raised with in the home of their father Joseph from their very youth. And I saw this play out at my Shabbat table right in front of me with these sweet and holy chayalot, these soldier girls. We were going around the table, as we do every single week when we are blessed with guests, and everyone was sharing about themselves. Now, keep in mind, these girls were not just any soldiers. They were here in Judea as one of the stops during their officers' course. To be an officer in the Israeli army is not an easy accomplishment. You have to be really motivated. You have to really want it. Now, these girls, too, like I said, they identified as secular. They weren't fired up by the exact same thing that fired me up, right? The fulfillment of prophecy, the ingathering of the exiles, just to give some examples, what fired them up. Shockingly, as we run around the table, it was the same thing for each of them. And I don't think that they themselves even knew they had this in common until they were sitting there at the table, going around the table. Each of them shared their memories from when they were little girls, seeing their father put on his uniform, of hearing stories of their parents. One of the girls shared about the great accomplishments of her mother from the army. And I think that deep down, that is one of the reasons I'm so happy to have the honor to serve right now, despite my 20 plus years of service in the IDF reserves. No one would have thought twice if I didn't, answer this call and join up. Because, as you all know, Shayna and I married at a later age. And while Jeremy's children were raised seeing him go off every year to serve in reserves, whether it's training or even fighting wars, my children are only becoming aware right now. And last week, when we were sitting in the living room and reports came in on the walkie-talkie that there was a shooting happening and everybody else would be running inside and taking cover, Dvash and Shiloh saw their Abba throw on his vest and his helmet, grab his weapon, and run outside, running towards the danger to protect. Intuitively, I know that there's no amount of tuition in the most elite Zionist, expensive Zionist private schools in America that you could pay that would have that same effect, that same impact, that same lesson, the same values entering the hearts of your children. You just can't get that in a classroom.